Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, how are we doing today? So today I have a special earlier version of Android Weekly Q&A because after this at 8:30 p.m. we will be having a live Galaxy S5 Q&A. So I will be answering any and all questions you have about the Galaxy S5 and just really answering anything you might have questions on it, and just showing off anything that you may have a question about that you haven't seen in a video or that you want to see in a video. Also, I'd like to add, I just finally got a new device in that I can't wait to test out, and that is the HTC One M8. So I will be testing this device out fully, and what videos you want to see on that. So yes, lots of new stuff coming, and lots of new stuff coming in the future. So get excited, guys, and I will do my best to show you everything I can about these devices. Now, if you are new to Android Weekly and Q&A, one thing I like to point out is we're going to go through the articles that came out during the week and catch you up on all the latest news for mobile. Then we're going to answer the questions that were asked during the week. And then finally, we will close with answering any live questions that you have down below. So if you are watching, please leave a comment down below in the comment section, and I will get to those questions as soon as possible. All right, so let's start off by going to the first articles. So the first big article is that the Galaxy S5 has been tested, and it is the new leader, it seems like, in battery life. So when I mean new leader, it's a pretty impressive lead. So if you can see in the U.S., this actually is the top-ranked device. It's actually right below. It's actually matching the iPad Air in battery life, which is really impressive. So this is a really huge feat, and it definitely does a really great job at it. As you can see, it beats other devices out there like the HTC One Max, HTC One M8, and the G2. Now, I like to note that this one did have even the Note 3 on there, but the Note 3 didn't fare too well in this test. Now, this is a test made by a company called Phone Arena, and so as you can see, this is where the Note 3 lies, and this is where the S5 lies. So, yes, in terms of the US, this does have the best battery life, so it's a very impressive, and the Galaxy S5 has taken that crown for the US, it seems like. So, really good when it comes to it, and just very impressive, definitely. Now, in some other funny news, between Galaxy S5 and HTC One, the two phones that I have right now, HTC One sent John send the CEO of T-Mobile, sent him a gold HTC One, and he was like, "Man, this is the coolest thing ever. It's a gold-plated HTC One, so it really looks very nice." And so, which was really funny because he was like, "Oh my God, this is so cool! I got this HTC One. This is awesome." And then that same day, I believe, let me see if it was. Yes, it was the same day before the end of the day. So this is at 9:25 when, or at 6:20 when this was posted. He actually got a gold Galaxy S5. Now this is a different gold from like the standard gold. This is gold. So it's really kind of hilarious that he got two gold devices from both manufacturers on the same day. I thought that was really clever. And yes, I mean, wouldn't we all like to have this problem? You have two of the best phones in gold, and now he has to decide between which one he's going to carry on a daily basis with him. I thought that was pretty funny. And then we get the leaked image for when we will be seeing the new iOS devices come out this year, guys. So, oops. Let me see if we can get that back for you guys. Sorry, that plugin just died. Let me see if we can get that back. Can I see me again? No, I can't even see me. Sorry guys, hopefully you can still hear me. It looks like you can still hear me. Although, I'm not sure if you can see me. If anyone in the comment section can comment below if you can see me right now. Yes. Hi, bro. Sorry, guys, having some technical difficulties. All right, it looks like you guys can't see me. Sorry if it's just black. My sharing feature just kind of crashed, and I'm not sure why. But, okay, I'm back. And hopefully you guys can all see me again. Sorry about all that. Oh, what the heck? Yeah, guys, sorry about all that. Don't know what happened. My sharing feature crashed and everything kind of crashed all at once. So, now, as we resume live, and this is, of course, what happens when you film live, let's show you that roadmap again. Hopefully it won't crash. So, this is the roadmap for Apple and when we're going to see everything launch. So, in June, we will be getting a new iMac, and that's about it. Nothing new coming in June, guys. I know some people were expecting the iWatch. I know some people were expecting a lot of things. But no, it does not look like this is going to happen. All that's going to happen is it's going to be an iMac upgrade, and that's it. Then, at the end of Q3, which will be in the September launch, so it doesn't even look like it's going to be August. It looks like it's going to be September again. Um, at the September, we are going to get the new iPhone with a 4.7-inch screen, two iWatches, presumably one for ladies and one for men, and the new iPad Air and iPad Mini upgrade. So the only thing that's rumored for this is going to be that it's going to be a fingerprint scanner, and that's really it. Probably have the newer processor, I'm assuming, and that's pretty much all they're going to do. For iWatch, we do expect to see one thing that is really geared towards fitness, and that's the main thing that we're seeing it geared towards. And for the 4.7-inch iPhone, so far what we know about it, it's going to be a 720p display, and they're going to call it Ultra Retina. And it looks like it's still going to have an 8-megapixel camera, but it's going to have a wider, even wider aperture than before. Now, if this is true, it also does look like this is going to be a 5.5-inch screen iPhone, and that's about what we're going to get from it. So we'll see if this actually happens or not. I'm curious. It does look exactly what I expect from Apple, though. I don't expect anything different from this. This is what I expect from them this year, exactly as is. Now, we do also see that HTC is still having some financial trouble and how they're trying to correct this. So in Q1, they have reported another quarterly loss. HTC has had a lot of losses over the past year. They didn't have a loss in Q4 because they basically sold all of their shares to Beats. So that's why the new HTC One did not come with Beats installed. And the reason for that is because that they sold all their shares for it. How do they plan on combating this? Well, they have Robert Downey Jr. in a new HTC commercial. Which I do want to point out that this, if you haven't seen it, definitely it's just, HTC One M8, Robert Downey Jr. talks serious design. It is much better than Here's to Change campaign that they had last year. Oh my god, this is so bad. It's like, how do you have Robert Downey Jr. and you can't make a good commercial? Well, it is better because it looks like they just told him this time, which they should have done last time, which was be yourself, do what you do, and yes, that's it, and that's all the direction you need him to do, and he was much better. The problem is that, you know, He kind of said HTC won a bunch of designs and you should go get one, and that's it. But he didn't go into anything like of what makes it so amazing, like the speakers in the front, the dual camera, kind of what makes it amazing. And I think that that's what it needs. The last two HTC commercials did nothing to say about how or what the phone can do, and that's a miss. No matter what, you need to actually speak to that, which they're not, and that's a problem. Alright, and then closing the last two articles, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I will answer them as soon as we're done. So Samsung just trademarked two new Gear watches, at least their names, and that is the Gear Now and the Gear Solo. Now, here's the thing. The Gear Solo is a big rumored device right now, and it's supposed to be the Gear 2 with a SIM card, meaning that it's a solo device, it does not need a phone, and it will be your phone itself. Here's why I have a hard time believing this. I do not believe the Gear Solo will come to the US, because for those of you who don't know, all Samsung tablets overseas come with phone call and text messaging capability. But this is not true in the US. This does not hold true in the US. So the problem with that is that carriers rather don't want you to get one device and that's it. Carriers want you to get a phone and a tablet, and that's how it's always been. So therefore, I don't see this coming to the US for the same reason. I mean, there are smartwatches overseas that do this, that you have phone call capabilities, you have internet capabilities on the watch, but it's never come to the US because of this fact that US carriers rather sell you 2 to 3 devices instead of selling you a one-stop solution, because it's more profitable that way. And I do not see this, at least I do not see the Gear Solo coming to the US if it is made, and that's just my opinion. And finally, we end on a sour note for me. Google Glass will be available to everyone to buy this upcoming week, and I forgot what the date is, April 15th. So on April 15th, on Tuesday, they will be allowing anyone to buy Google Glass at 6 a.m. and at the low price of $1,500. Yes, it's still rather expensive, and this is really the problem. I was actually one of the people that was allowed to purchase a Google Glass. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you actually saw me when I was wearing them, and I just could not bring myself to buy it. And I was going to actually ask that, I still might ask that, should I get Google Glass, and would you guys watch videos for Google Glass if I did purchase it? And that's a question that I kind of have for you guys, like, if I bought Google Glass, would you guys watch those videos? Are you interested in Google Glass? That is one thing I'm very curious about. So let me know in the comment section down below if you are interested in Google Glass. Alright, now we're going to the questions portion. So if you guys have a question, please feel free to ask down below, and I will do my best to answer it. And if you are watching this after it's been filmed, please email all questions to asktheandroidguy@gmail.com. Subject being question. Please make the subject question because I get a lot of comments, and I try to only answer those that followed the rules and did question. Alright, so the first question comes from Gio Ramirez, and he asks, he has a Note 3 from Verizon, and essentially he wants to be able to connect it to the TV. And he couldn't use micro HDMI, which is what he used beforehand, to connect to his TV, and he just wants to be able to do this. He has Chromecast because he thought that would work, but Chromecast normally only sends things from online to your TV. So your YouTube app will be sent to your TV, as well as your Google Movies will be sent to your TV. This will all be sent to your TV. So what makes that's what Chromecast normally does. Now you can use something else. Sorry, Geo. You can use something called Allcast with your Chromecast. So Allcast is this app right here, and this will allow you to mirror what's what's built into your device. So this will allow you to mirror anything from your Chromecast that's on your device itself. So it allows you to send your photos, music, and videos to Chromecast. So this is what will work with your Chromecast to allow you to mirror it to your TV. However, there are two other solutions for those of you out there that want to do the same thing and maybe don't want to get Chromecast or want another solution. The second feature would be an MHL adapter. This is an MHL 2.0 adapter that is made by Samsung, and all that the 2.0 means that you do not need to charge it while streaming it. MHL 1.0 adapter, which was the original, you did need to. Now, what is an MHL adapter? Well, it's a micro USB, so it connects to the bottom of your device, and the other side is an HDMI, standard HDMI. So you just basically plug this to your bottom of your phone and plug this to your HDMI to your TV, and you're done. That's all that it is to it. That's the second solution. The third solution is the Samsung All-Share Cast. Now this allows you to wirelessly mirror your device. So meaning that your entire whatever is on your phone is mirrored to the TV. So if you're web browsing, if you're playing a game, this is the best thing that I love about it, because I connect my Gamepad controller through Bluetooth to my device. So I connect this to Bluetooth to my Note 3. Then I mirror it to this, and I can play like a gaming console. So this is something that I really like to do, and that's how I connect it to the TV. Again, for those of you who are watching, please ask your comments and leave all questions in the comment section down below, and I will be answering all of them. I'm seeing some questions down below, so please keep leaving those questions, and I will answer them as I see them. So for the second question, it's actually about the Gamepad. So Tony asked, look, I bought this. I bought the game console, the Gamepad, and I can't find the S Console. S Console is the app that allows you to find all the games that are compatible to the device. And unfortunately, he got the S4 Zoom. So the S4 Zoom, you were not able to make it work with it. And I actually tried it. I could not find the S Console Zoom, the S Console APK online. I was trying to look for it for the show, could not find it. So here's the thing: it paired. I paired it through Bluetooth. So all I did was NFC on the S4 Zoom is right here. NFC on the tags right here. Bam, tapped it, and it did pair. Here's the problem though. Because it doesn't have the S Console, oops, turned that on. Because it doesn't have the console app, you can't really know what games are going to work for it, but some games did. So I tried like Sonic real quick on it, and it worked okay. I got the one from the Google Play Store, which again works for it just fine, but you kind of won't be able to get the Samsung versions that work with it. So just letting you know, that seems like it won't happen. All right. Then Steve asks, I'm starting to use Google Calendar, and I keep it on my tablet, and it works well. But when I go online, it's not syncing. I asked a number of people, had found no answer. I assume I'm missing something, but can't figure it out. I don't have a Gmail set up on my tablet, if that matters. Any help you can give me? So here's the thing, Steve. It's kind of hard. Sorry, just turning this off. It's kind of hard to tell without being there, but I want to do my best to see if I can help you out, even though I'm not there. So here's the thing. For this, there could be multiple things. One, if you are, say, using a Samsung calendar or an HTC calendar, those default to their own calendar, so they will not sync with your Google Calendar. So make sure when you hit a new appointment that it is the correct calendar, that it's the Google Calendar with your Gmail address. Now that brings me to my next thing. You say you don't have your Gmail on your phone, but yet as soon as you sign into your Gmail on your phone, that's what syncs up the Google ecosystem. So if you do not have a Gmail, you cannot use Google Calendar. Google Calendar syncs through Gmail. So the easiest probably thing that you need to do is just sign into your Gmail, go to settings and accounts, and then add your Gmail account, and then make sure everything's checked off on the sync list. That as long as Gmail and your calendar is synced up, then that's all you need. So those should be the two things that are holding you up. And then the last question we are going to get to, and then I will answer all questions in the comment section down below, comes from Clone Cotman. Clone Cotman ask, this is a question about the Samsung and trial of Samsung and Apple. Why are they fighting again? I know it's about some patents, but which ones? Oh, and who do you think will win, or who do you think won by the time you read this? Okay, so hold on one second, guys. Sorry, a little parched. So here's the thing. So the first Samsung and Apple trial that just finished, I want to say about 2 months ago, was involving some very old devices. It involved up to the iPhone 4, and it involved up to the Galaxy S2. So some very old devices. And this is what it was about. It was about everything and anything that both companies could fight against each other. And this wasn't the only trial that was going on. They've had trials on in other countries. This was just a U.S. Trial. So in this trial, what was decided was that all physical, Apple said that, Samsung took our design and they ran with it. So they copied us on design, and it's a clone of ours. They didn't. Our look is what they used in all this yada yada yada. Right. So that's what Apple tried to claim. They also tried to claim them on certain patents. Now, this is where the patent system is messed up, and that's because of the fact that the patent system awarded Apple 2 patents that have since been considered invalid. So they awarded them the pinch to zoom patent. So the very thing, that the technology that when you pinch to zoom, it pinches and zooms in. They awarded them this patent. However, that technology was around years before Apple was awarded that patent or even applied for that patent. So there's obviously a problem there. And that's why that patent was considered invalid by the USTO or TPO or something like that, the the patent system of the world considered it invalid. As well as the second thing that Apple was awarded on was the bounce patent. So the bounce patent was when you scroll all the way down on your web browser and it bounces. That was a patent that they were awarded. Again, it's been considered invalid because of its ambiguity. And that one, I believe, was considered invalid in the US. So here's the thing. This trial finished, and these patents are now both considered invalid. So Samsung's like, yeah, Judge, we're appealing this because these patents are literally not considered to hold any merit whatsoever now. So why should I pay this? And so it's going to go to appeals court, and I mean, those are the 2 patents that won Apple the most money. Those patents are going to be considered invalid because they are. So yeah, it's a very clear and cut case to me, but that judge, as many people have speculated, has been paid off by Apple. I would say probably. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, she had Samsung drop all of these. She had Samsung drop all of these cases, all of these other patents they had against Apple, and to her credit, the only thing I could say is that she did not consider Apple to be able to ban the Samsung devices. So she did say, no, we're not allowing you to ban them. So that's one thing that I could say she did. And now the second trial is going to go on. The second trial goes all the way up to the Galaxy S3 and the iPhone 4S. So if you can notice a trend here, this trial will not be finished this year, most likely. It will probably not be finished till the next year. So one thing, if you can notice a trend, and that is by the time these trials finish, the phones that they're about are long gone. And that's one interesting thing about the trials. I think these trials prove that the patent system needs to be changed because it's just ridiculous. And now Apple is asking for $30 per phone sold when they, or no, $40 per phone sold for every phone that Samsung sells, and they'll drop it. But before, Apple had wanted $20, and now they're saying, no, we want $40. And the reason for that is because that Samsung, it's estimated when I was looking on, what was it? It's either Android Central, Phone Arena, or Engadget. It's estimated that Samsung makes about $40 per phone sold on the low-end phones that they sell a lot of. So you would cut their entire profit margin, and that's why Apple wants to do it. So yeah, that's all about the patent system and all that kind of stuff and everything like that. So now let's go to the questions down below. If you have a question, please ask it down below, and I will be able to answer it. Okay. I wish this guy would change his name intro to RICKY, the Android guy. You for real, man. RICKY, the Android guy. My intro is RICKY, the Android guy, but you know. I'm not sure if you meant to say something else there. RCKY, the Android guy. Yeah, that's my intro. I don't. Okay, but yes. The next question from Wayne Glassglow. I upgraded to the new Gear Manager and it keeps crashing, but Samsung removed the old version. What can I do? This is actually really difficult since Android 4.2 does not have external storage support. Oh, that's another question. Okay, so first question from Wayne. I downloaded the new Gear Manager and it keeps crashing, so what should I do? So the easy thing to do would just be to type in Gear Manager APK into Google, and you will actually find an older version, typically right away. If not, there are posted on XDA Developers website. But I would just, if you Google it, you will find it, and just look at the version on the Samsung App Store, see what version that is, and then find an older version, and that will solve it. I have done this by myself before when that same thing happened to me. Although I would make one thing clear, and that is you do have to uninstall the new version of Gear Manager. So uninstall that entirely, and then install the old version once you find it, and that will solve your problem, Wayne. All right. Since Android 4.4.2 does not have external storage support for apps, should I move the app data I have on my storage card to my avoid losing data? So 4.4.2, if I'm not mistaken, hold on one second, because I believe it does. 4.4 should have the ability to store apps on an SD card, if I'm not mistaken, Wayne. I am checking this live for you. So the S5 I have is 4.4.2. I want to make sure it's the exact model you're asking, the exact version you're asking about. And now when I check the, where the heck is the app manager? I swear, these settings are so weird sometimes. So yeah, I have complete ability on 4.4.2 to move all my apps to my SD card. As long as they're on your SD card, you won't lose data. But if you were to put it on, say, a device like, what device is still backed up? Before 4.2, so between 4.1, or no, sorry, I believe it was 4.0 and 4.0 and 4.1 did not support any kind of SD cards on apps, so you could not do that. So if you ever install that SD card on a one that wasn't, then it can't have apps on it. You cannot have apps on it. All right. So Wayne, you have another question. Why did they stop storage on SD card support for apps on 4.4.2? I feel like it's a step backwards. So again, I have 4.4.2. I can move my apps to SD card. What they did was they did remove it on 4.0 and 4.1. They removed apps from SD card. You could not put apps on the SD card. The reason why they did this was because apps on the SD card caused a lot of crashes. They were causing a lot of crashes to devices, so they stopped it. They wanted to stop it, and that's what they did. They stopped it. So, but there was a problem. People were upset. So Samsung was actually the main one that actually was like, no, we're going to keep the SD card. And yeah, that was all there was to it. And since Samsung sold so well and they kept the SD card, uh, when it came to Android 4.2, they brought back moving apps to the SD card and just kind of it fixed a lot of the crashing issues. All right, Kronos DB asks, do you know if the remote locate function on my S4 will work without my GPS on? And do the fingerprint scanner work when you want on the GS5, unlike Smart Scroll, Smart Pause, Air Gesture on the S4? Okay, so to answer your first question, I'm not sure if Kronos, if you're asking for the remote locate function that Samsung has, which I believe is called Find My Device, or the Android device manager that Google has. But the Android device manager I know can go off of the local Wi-Fi settings, so it'll pinpoint it by your local Wi-Fi connections besides GPS. So even if you don't have that, I haven't used the Find My Device, which Samsung offers, but I would assume they should as well. But the idea behind it is that it will give you the last signal that it had either way. So that's the idea behind it. The fingerprint scanner, I've talked with it about a lot of people because a lot of people have been asking about the fingerprint scanner for the Galaxy S5. And for those of you who don't know, we will be doing a Galaxy S5 video at 8:30, so in about an hour, I'll do an entire section just on Galaxy S5. So if you have Galaxy S5 questions, you can ask them now, but I'll answer a lot more there. So it works fairly well once you get used to it. But I feel like there is a learning curve to it. So you kind of have to get it right, like where you have to touch. And once you get that right, though, you will have it very easily. But you have to learn how to touch it, essentially, which can be annoying. But once you have it, it's very easy after that. So one reviewer said it best. It works about 90% of the time. About 90% of the time, you'll get it. But yeah, there's still that 10% that's often annoying, and I think it will be better once you have a future update. All right. And Wayne asked another question. The HTC One M8 wipes all data on the phone and restores it to factory settings if you have the password entered 10 times correctly. Wouldn't the person with your phone now have a way to factory reset the phone? Yes, actually. I literally just unboxed this HTC One today, so I have not checked if it has it. But I can tell you on the Galaxy S5, the Note 3, you can actually not have it wipe out your phone if you mess up 5 times or anything like that. I would assume the HTC One has that same feature, but I haven't tested it. Yeah, and I don't want to kind of look it through. I will find that out for you, and I'll do a video on the lock screen pattern for it. But yeah, all Android devices do have that ability to do it, but I'm not sure if they wouldn't. Yes, you essentially give your person who stole your phone a way to wipe it, but it's more so the fact that yes, they do wipe your device, but at least they don't have access to what you had on your device. So I think that's more of the idea behind it. Eve Hill asks, "What's up, Ricky? What's your take on the Opus 7?" So I've answered this before. The Opus 7 is a really, really cool device. My only thing with it is that it's not really in the US. And oh, so you just commented on that. Why wouldn't it be in the U.S.? Well, so the Opus 7 is, Oppo is a pretty big company over more so overseas, but not well known in the U.S. And the thing is consumers still do not like to buy directly from a company. They want to go to a store and see it and use it. And until Oppo gets that tie-in with either one of the carriers like Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, or T-Mobile, and has it in their stores so people can play with it, see it, use it, it's not going to come to the U.S. It wouldn't. At least what they can do is maybe have a deal with Best Buy, so Best Buy can sell it in their stores. But people want to see and use the device. Otherwise, the Oppo 7 will never be big in the U.S. It won't be. All right. Alvaro Al, Alvaro Overa asks, the price is expensive here in Brazil. How much does it cost in the U.S.? Alvaro, I'm not really sure which one you're talking about. The Galaxy S5, the HTC M8, or the Opus 7. I can tell you for the S5, it is, I want to say 660 in the U.S., and I want to say the HTC One is 650 in the U.S. So yeah, that's how much those two are. I'm not sure about the Opus 7 off the top of my head how much it is. But yeah, guys, that was all the questions. Do anyone else have any other questions? I try to answer as many of them as I can. We have a lot of people watching right now, so any other questions from you guys, ask now, and I will try my best to answer them. On the meantime, I just wanted to let you guys know, if you have a question about the Galaxy S5, what do you want to know about this device? I will be doing another live feed in about an hour at 8:30, and I will answer any and all questions about the Galaxy S5. So if you want to know about the Galaxy S5, stay tuned for that, and we will be starting it up at 8:30. Gives me a little chance to rest with my throat, and so I can actually be able to talk again. But other than that, it doesn't look like there's any other questions right now at this time. I will refresh the comment section just to make sure of that. But it looks like we got to all the questions that were asked live. And if you guys have any questions and you're watching this during the week, make sure to email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com, and I will answer all of your questions on next week's episode. Thank you again for watching, and I really appreciate all the support, guys. These videos have been getting a lot more views every week and have been seeing a lot more coverage. Sorry about the technical difficulty earlier. Some issues with it. That's why it's live. It has issues at times. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.